The courtroom was full of people. Reporters, lawyers, police officers, and strangers all sat quietly. Everyone wanted to see what would happen today. A young woman named Emily stood in the middle of the room. She looked calm, too calm. Her hands were folded in front of her. Her eyes were soft. She did not look scared, even though the judge was about to decide her future. Emily wore a simple blue dress. Her hair was tied back. There was no fear in her face, no sadness, only a quiet smile. The judge, Mr. Harrison, watched her carefully. This is strange, he thought. Most people cry or beg before their sentence, but not her. Why? Everyone said Emily was guilty. The police said she was part of a big crime, a terrible crime. Someone had stolen money from the city hospital. A lot of money. The hospital closed because of it. Many poor people lost their help, and the police caught Emily near the hospital office late at night. She had a small bag of money in her hand. Everyone believed she was the thief. Everyone except one person, Emily herself. "I am not guilty," she said softly when the trial started. But no one believed her. The police had proof. The cameras showed her there. The money was in her hand. Still, Emily stood calmly, like she knew something no one else knew. Today, the judge would give his decision. "Prison or freedom? Bring the accused forward," the judge said loudly. Emily stepped closer. She stood straight. Her soft smile was still there. The judge looked at her for a long time. "Emily White," he said slowly, "you are found guilty of stealing hospital funds. This crime has hurt many people. Before I give your sentence, do you have anything to say?" The courtroom became very quiet. Everyone leaned forward. Was Emily going to cry? To beg? To say sorry? But Emily did something no one expected. She raised her hand gently. "Your Honor, before you sentence me, I have something important to tell you. A secret that will change everything," she said softly. The room gasped. "A secret?" The reporters grabbed their pens. The police looked at each other. The lawyers whispered. Even the judge raised his eyebrows. "A secret?" he asked. "Why did you not speak before?" "Because no one would believe me," Emily said kindly. "But now, I have no choice. The truth must come out." "What truth?" the judge asked, leaning forward. Emily took a deep breath. "The night I was caught. I was not alone," she said. "Someone else was there. Someone powerful. Someone who made me take the money." The courtroom exploded with noise. "Silence!" the judge shouted. Everyone quieted down. "Who was there, Emily?" the judge asked sharply. Emily looked around the room. Her eyes searched every face. Then she said in a quiet voice, "The person is sitting in this courtroom right now." A loud gasp filled the room. People turned their heads. They looked at each other. Who could it be? The judge's eyes narrowed. "Who are you talking about, Emily? Tell us now," he said. Emily smiled sadly. "I will tell you, but only after you promise to protect me. If I speak this truth, my life may be in danger," she said. The judge thought for a moment. "Very well," he said. "You have my promise. Speak the truth." Emily nodded. She slowly lifted her hand and pointed across the room. Every eye followed her finger. It pointed straight at a man sitting in the front row, a rich, famous man, Mr. Richard Blackwell, one of the city's most respected businessmen, a man who gave money to hospitals, schools, and the police, a man who smiled for the cameras, a man no one ever suspected. "Mr. Blackwell was there that night," Emily said clearly. "He made me go into the hospital office. He gave me the bag. He told me to take the blame if the police came." The courtroom broke into shouts and cries. "No! She's lying!" Blackwell stood up, his face red with anger. "I don't know. Her! She's trying to save herself." But Emily did not move. She stood calm and strong. I have proof, she said softly. The judge banged his gavel. Silence! Silence in the court! He shouted. Everyone sat down, breathing hard. Proof? The judge asked. What proof do you have, Emily? Emily smiled sadly again. I cannot tell you here. The proof is hidden, but I will show you. If you want the truth, send your officers to the old library basement. There is a small box under the floor. Inside are papers and a recording. The judge leaned back in his chair. A secret box? A recording? The courtroom buzzed with whispers. Was this real? Was Emily telling the truth, or was this a clever trick to escape prison? The judge turned to the police chief. Send men to the old library. Now, he said. 2 officers ran from the room. Emily stood still, waiting, watching. Across the room, Mr. Blackwell sat down slowly, his face pale, his hands shaking. The judge noticed. Mr. Blackwell, do you know anything about this box? He asked. Blackwell shook his head. No, nothing. She's lying, he whispered, but his eyes told a different story. Fear. Real fear. The courtroom waited. Minutes felt like hours. Then the doors opened. The 2 officers returned. They carried a small metal box. The judge stood up. Bring it here, he said. They placed the box on the judge's desk. He opened it slowly. Inside were old papers, a small tape recorder. The judge picked up the recorder, pressed play. A voice filled the courtroom, a man's voice, smooth, strong. It was Mr. Blackwell's voice. Take the money. If you get caught, say it was you. I will protect you. No one will know I was here. The room exploded with noise. The judge hit his gavel hard. Order! Order! He shouted. He looked at Blackwell. The rich man's head was down. His hands over his face, Emily stood quietly, smiling. The judge took a deep breath. This changes everything, he said softly. Everyone stared. What would happen now? Would Emily go free? Would Mr. Blackwell be arrested? The mystery was not over, yet. But one thing was clear. Emily's secret had changed everything. And the real story was just beginning. The courtroom was full of whispers. Everyone was shocked by what they had just heard. Emily stood silently, looking at the judge. Mr. Blackwell sat with his face in his hands, his body shaking. The judge removed his glasses and cleaned them slowly. His mind was racing. Emily, the judge said in a calm voice, you must tell the full story, everything, from the beginning. Emily took a deep breath. Her eyes turned sad as she looked down at the floor. It started 10 years ago, she began softly. When I was just 19, the courtroom became quiet again. Even the reporters stopped writing. Everyone listened closely. I was working at a small coffee shop, Emily said. I was poor. My mother was sick. My father was dead. I needed money for her medicine. I needed it badly. Emily's voice broke for a moment, but she continued. One day, Mr. Blackwell came into the shop. He was kind. He smiled. He gave big tips. He told me he could help me. The people in the court stared at Mr. Blackwell. He was breathing hard, sweating, but he said nothing. He said he liked helping poor girls like me, Emily said. He gave me a small job at his company, running papers, cleaning desks. I was so happy. I thought my troubles were over. But then Emily's face changed. Her soft smile was gone. Her eyes were dark. But he lied, she said quietly. It was a trap. The courtroom gasped again. One night he called me to his office, Emily said. He gave me a bag, a heavy bag. I opened it. There was money inside, a lot of money. I was shocked. Emily shook her head slowly. He told me I must take that bag to the hospital office and leave it there. He said it was a donation for the hospital. He smiled. He made it sound like a good thing. Emily looked up at the judge. But when I reached the hospital office, I saw papers on the desk. The papers said the hospital was losing money. Big money. Money that was supposed to be safe. Emily's voice became stronger. Then I understood. This was no donation. It was stolen money from the hospital itself, money taken by Mr. Blackwell, and he wanted me to take the blame if someone found out. The court fell silent again. Emily's words were like knives in the air. Mr. Blackwell sat frozen in his chair, his eyes wide, his face pale. "I tried to leave the hospital," Emily said. "I wanted to run away, but he was waiting outside in his car. He stopped me. He smiled. He said, 'Don't worry, no one will find out, but if they do, you will take the blame, not me.'" Tears filled Emily's eyes. I was scared. My mother was still sick. I needed the money he gave me. He promised he would pay for her hospital bills. What could I do? I was trapped. The judge looked at her kindly. "And this happened 10 years ago?" he asked softly. Emily nodded. "Yes, but I stayed quiet. I was afraid. He paid for my mother's treatment. He gave me more small jobs. He controlled my life. Every time I wanted to speak, he reminded me of what I had done that night. He said no one would believe me, and he was right." The courtroom sighed. The story was sad. So sad. "But last month," Emily continued, "he asked me to do it again, to take more money, to be the thief once more. This time I said no. I said I would go to the police." Emily's eyes burned with fire now. He laughed. He said, "Who will believe you, little Emily? You are just a poor girl, a thief. I am Mr. Blackwell. Everyone trusts me." A murmur ran through the courtroom. "That's why I went to the hospital that night," Emily said. "Not to steal, but to find proof. I knew he had hidden papers there. I wanted to get them. But the police caught me first." Emily lowered her head. "I thought it was over. I thought I would go to prison forever, until I remembered the old library, the place where I once cleaned for him, the place where I saw him hide something under the floor." Her voice grew quiet. "I went there last week. The box was still there, the papers, the tape, everything. I brought the key with me to court today, because I knew this moment would come." The courtroom was so quiet that even the sound of breathing could be heard. Everyone's eyes were on Judge Harrison. He sat still, his fingers pressed together, deep in thought. Emily stood calmly in the middle of the room. She waited for his words. Mr. Blackwell sat frozen in his chair. His face was pale like paper. His lawyer whispered in his ear again, but Blackwell did not move. He knew his secret life was now open to the world. Judge Harrison slowly removed his glasses and rubbed his eyes. His mind was full of questions. Could Emily really be innocent? Was she truly a victim all these years? Was she only following the orders of a powerful man, or was this another trick to escape punishment? He looked at Emily. She stood straight, her head high, her eyes clear. There was no fear in her face, only truth. The judge cleared his throat. "Emily White," he said slowly, "you have made serious claims against Mr. Blackwell. You say he trapped you, used you, forced you to commit these crimes. Is that correct?" "Yes, Your Honor," Emily answered softly. "I never wanted to steal. He made me do it. He said he would destroy me and my mother if I refused." The judge nodded. "And now we have recordings. We have secret papers. Hidden proof. This changes." "Everything," he said. The people in the court whispered to each other. What will the judge do now? They wondered, but the judge held up his hand. "Silence in the court," he said firmly. Then he looked at the police officers. "Take Mr. Blackwell into custody," he ordered. "Hold him for questioning. This court must find the full truth." 2 officers walked to Mr. Blackwell. They pulled him gently from his chair. He did not fight. He did not speak. His eyes were empty. As they led him away, the room filled with noise. "Mr. Blackwell, is it true?" The reporters shouted. "Why did you do this?" But Blackwell said nothing. His head was low as he left the room. The judge turned back to Emily. "Miss White," he said kindly, "you are not free yet. I need to understand everything. Why did you not come forward earlier? Why did you wait so long?" Emily looked down. "I was afraid," she said softly. "Mr. Blackwell had power, money, friends in the police in the city. He said no one would believe me. And I believed him. I was too weak, too scared." A tear rolled down her cheek. "But when my mother died last year, I changed. I had nothing left to lose. I decided I would speak, even if no one believed me. I wanted the truth to come out." The judge sighed. "I understand," he said. "But the law is the law. You helped him in a crime. Even if he forced you, you were part of it. I must decide what to do with you." The room became silent again. Emily closed her eyes. She knew this moment would come. She had spoken the truth. But maybe it was too late to save herself. Judge Harrison looked at the lawyers. "Do you have anything to add?" he asked. Emily's lawyer stood up. "Your Honor," he said, "Miss White was a victim. She did not steal for herself. She did not plan this crime. Mr. Blackwell used her. Without him, she would never have done this. She should not be punished like a real thief." The judge nodded. "And the prosecutor?" he asked. The prosecutor stood. "Your Honor," he said slowly, "the evidence shows Miss White was forced. The recording proves she was controlled by Mr. Blackwell. I agree. She is not fully guilty. But the law says she broke the rules. She must face some punishment." The judge closed his eyes for a moment. This was hard. Very hard. If he sent Emily to prison, it would be unfair. But if he set her free, others might say the law was weak. What was the right thing to do? He opened his eyes and looked at Emily. "Miss White," he said softly, "you have suffered much. You lost your mother. You lost your freedom. You lost your peace. And today you told the truth. That is brave. Very brave." Emily stood silent, her hands tight in front of her. "But the law must be followed," the judge continued. "You broke the law when you helped Mr. Blackwell. Even if you were afraid, you took part in the crime. You entered the hospital office. You touched the stolen money. These facts cannot be ignored." Emily's heart dropped. Was she going to prison after all? The judge raised his hand. "But I believe you are not a criminal in your heart," he said kindly. "You were forced. You were trapped. You deserve mercy." The room held its breath. "I will not send you to prison," the judge said. "But you must serve the community. 1 year of service at the hospital you tried to protect. You will help the sick, the poor. You will work hard, not as punishment, but to bring good from this sad story." A soft sigh ran through the room. Emily's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, Your Honor," she whispered. The judge smiled gently. "Do good, Emily White," he said. "Your life is not over. It has just begun again." The people in the court began to clap softly. Reporters smiled. Even the police officers nodded. But the judge was not finished. "And Mr. Blackwell will face a full trial," he said firmly. "His crimes are great. His lies deep. He will pay for what he has done." As the officers took Mr. Blackwell away, the judge stood. "This court is done for today," he said. "But justice is not finished. Truth has come out, and the truth will set us all free." The courtroom slowly emptied. Reporters ran to call their offices. Lawyers shook hands. Police smiled quietly. Emily walked out into the bright sun. For the first time in 10 years, she felt free. Truly free. But the story was not over yet. Mr. Blackwell's trial was coming, and more secrets might be waiting to come out. The city would watch. The people would listen. Because when the truth begins to shine, Darkness must run away. The news about the courtroom spread like fire across the city. Judge spares innocent woman. Powerful businessman arrested. The headlines said. Everyone in the city was talking about Emily White and Mr. Blackwell. People in shops, schools, buses, and offices spoke only of this big secret that had finally come out. At the hospital where Emily used to work long ago, nurses whispered in the halls. "Did you hear?" one nurse said. "Mr. Blackwell was stealing from the hospital for years." Another nurse shook her head. "Poor Emily. We thought she was a thief, but she was a victim all this time. Even the hospital manager felt ashamed. He had once called Emily a liar. Now he knew the truth. I will make this right," he promised the staff. "Emily will be welcome here. She will help us, and we will help her." At Emily's old coffee shop, her friends cried when they heard the news. "She suffered so much," her friend Mia said softly. "We thought she had left the city long ago. But she stayed. She fought. She told the truth." People who had once spoken badly of Emily now felt sorry. They realized they had judged her without knowing her story. Meanwhile, reporters waited outside the courthouse, eager for new updates. One reporter, Lisa, stood in front of a camera. Today, the city learned. A painful truth, she said. A young woman was trapped by fear and power. But she found courage to speak. And because of her, a rich and respected man will finally face justice. Inside the police station, officers sat quietly, watching the news. "We arrested the wrong person that night," one officer said sadly. "We should have listened to her. We failed." The chief shook his head. "Maybe," he said. "But now we make things right. Mr. Blackwell will not escape. His trial will show the full truth." Emily sat at home that night, looking out of her small window. The city lights glowed in the dark. She felt strange, free, but also afraid. Her phone rang. It was her friend Mia. "Emily, you're famous now." Mia laughed softly. "The whole city is behind you. You're a hero." Emily smiled a little. "I'm no hero, Mia," she said. "I just wanted the truth to win." "But you did it," Mia said. "The judge was kind. You will work at the hospital again. You'll help people. You'll have a new life." Emily felt warm inside. Maybe Mia was right. Maybe this was a new beginning. But deep in her heart, fear still lived. What if Mr. Blackwell found a way to escape punishment? What if his friends in high places helped him? What if the truth was still not safe? She shook her head. "No," she whispered to herself. "The judge promised justice. I have to believe him." Suddenly there was a knock at her door. Her heart jumped. Who could it be at this hour? Slowly, she walked to the door and opened it. It was Detective Harris, the police officer who had first arrested her. Emily stepped back, confused. "Detective?" she asked softly. "Why are you here?" He looked tired, but his eyes were kind. "Miss White," he said, "I wanted to say sorry. I believed the wrong person. I thought you were the thief. I was wrong." Emily looked at him. She saw honesty in his face. "It's okay," she said gently. "You were only doing your job." "No," he said firmly. "I should have seen the signs. I should have asked more questions. But I trusted Mr. Blackwell. Like everyone else, I won't make that mistake again." Emily smiled. "Thank you for saying this," she said. The detective nodded. "There's something else," he said. "Mr. Blackwell is in the station. He is angry, very angry, but he's also scared. We found more papers in his office, more proof of his crimes. He won't escape, not this time." Emily felt relief. Maybe finally the darkness was truly going away. "But be careful," the detective warned. "A man like Blackwell has friends, people who might try to help him. If you feel anything strange, calls, letters, visits, tell us right away." "Promise?" "I promise," Emily said softly. The detective gave her a small smile. "You're brave, Miss White," he said. "Not many people would do what you did." Then he left. Emily closed the door and leaned against it. Brave? Was she really brave? Or just lucky to have survived? As she stood there thinking, her phone buzzed. It was a message from an unknown number. "You should have stayed quiet, Emily. Now you will pay." Emily sat frozen on her couch. The phone was still in her hand. Her eyes stared at the screen. "You should have stayed quiet, Emily. Now you will pay." The words burned in her mind. Who had sent this message? Was Mr. Blackwell behind it? Or was it one of his rich and powerful friends? Her hands shook. She quickly locked all the doors and windows in her small apartment. Her heart beat fast, like a loud drum inside her chest. Suddenly, her phone rang. She jumped in fear. It was Detective Harris. "Emily, are you okay?" he asked. "No." "No, I'm not okay," she said, her voice shaking. "I got the message just a minute ago. Someone is threatening me." "Listen carefully," Harris said. "Stay inside. Don't open the door for anyone. We're tracing the message right now. I'll send a patrol car to your street to watch your building." Do you think it's Blackwell?" she whispered. "It could be," Harris said, "but it could also be someone else. Mr. Blackwell has many dirty friends, people who don't want you to speak again. But don't worry, we won't let them hurt you." Emily sat back on her couch, holding her head in her hands. When would this nightmare end? For a few hours, she thought her life was safe again. The court had believed her. The city had supported her. But now, the fear was back. A sharp knock on her door made her jump again. "Police!" a voice called from outside. Emily peeked through the hole in the door. 2 uniformed officers stood there. She opened the door slowly. "We are here to watch the building tonight, Miss White," one officer said kindly. "Detective Harris sent us. You'll be safe." Emily nodded. "Thank you," she whispered. The officers stayed outside. Emily felt a little better. At least someone was protecting her. But her mind was full of questions. Who sent the message? What did they want? And most of all, what were they planning to do next? The next morning, Emily woke up early. Her phone buzzed again. This time it was Detective Harris. "We traced the message," he said. "It came from a hidden number. Very clever work. Someone used a stolen phone, but we checked the camera outside your building." Emily held her breath. "What did you see?" she asked. "There was a man outside last night, wearing a dark coat and a cap. He stood there for 10 minutes, looking at your window. Then he left." Emily felt cold fear in her stomach. "Who was he?" she whispered. "We don't know yet," Harris said, "but we'll find him. I promise. And there's something else." "What?" Emily asked softly. "Mr. Blackwell's lawyer visited him in jail last night. After that, Blackwell made a secret phone call. We don't know who he called. But it's strange. Maybe he's trying to reach someone to hurt you." Emily closed her eyes. "I knew it," she said. "He still wants to silence me. But he can't," Harris said firmly. "We are watching him closely, and we are watching you. You are safe." Emily wanted to believe him, but deep inside, the fear stayed. That afternoon, Emily went to the hospital to start her community service. She wore simple clothes and a smile, but her heart was heavy. The hospital manager met her at the entrance. "Emily," he said gently, "we are sorry. We judged you before. But now we know the truth. Welcome back. You can help the patients again. You can rebuild your life here." Emily smiled sadly. "Thank you," she said. Her first job was helping the old patients in the hospital garden. She walked slowly with an old woman in a wheelchair. "You are the girl from the news, aren't you?" the old woman asked. Emily nodded. "You are brave, dear," the woman said. "Don't be afraid. Good always wins in the end." Emily felt warm inside. Maybe there was hope after all. But when she returned to the hospital entrance, she saw something strange. A black car was parked across the street. A man in a dark coat sat inside, watching the hospital. Emily felt her heart race. Was this the same man from last night? Was he following her? She quickly called Detective Harris. "Harris, the man is here, across the street," she whispered. "Stay inside," Harris said. "Officers are on their way. Don't go near him." Emily stayed close to the hospital door. She watched the car carefully. Suddenly, the car's engine started. The man drove away fast before the police arrived. The officers came minutes later. "He's gone," one officer said. "We'll check the traffic cameras. Maybe we can find his face or the car's number." Emily felt fear rising again. "Why is he following me?" she asked softly. "Maybe he wants to scare you," the officer said. "But don't worry, he won't succeed." That night, Emily sat in her apartment, unable to sleep. What if the man returned? What if he tried to hurt her? Her phone buzzed again. Another message. "You can't hide forever, Emily." "We're watching," Emily gasped. Tears filled her eyes. When would this end? Suddenly, her phone rang. It was Detective Harris again. "Emily, good news," he said. "We checked the cameras. The car belongs to a man named Carl Jensen. He's one of Blackwell's old workers, fired last year. He might be angry. Maybe he wants revenge for what happened." "Is he dangerous?" Emily asked. "We're not sure yet, but we will find him. He won't get near you again." Emily felt a little safer, but only a little. "Stay strong, Emily," Harris said softly. "You told the truth. You did the right thing. Don't let them break you now." Emily hung up the phone. She looked out of the window into the dark night. Someone was still watching. Someone wanted to hurt her. But she would not give up. She would fight. The truth was on her side. But the danger was not over yet. Emily sat quietly in her small apartment. She did not sleep that night. Her eyes stayed wide open, staring at the dark window. Every little sound made her heart jump. Was someone outside? Was Carl Jensen watching her again? The message from her phone was still fresh in her mind. "You can't hide forever, Emily. We're watching." These words made her feel cold inside. But she knew one thing clearly now. This could not go on forever. The fear had to stop. She had to fight back. The next morning, Detective Harris came to her apartment. "Emily," he said, "we have a plan, but we need your help." Emily looked at him carefully. She felt scared but curious. "What kind of plan?" she asked softly. "We will set a trap for Carl Jensen," Harris said. "We will let him think you are alone. He will come for you, and when he does, we will catch him." Emily's heart raced. "A trap? You want to use me as bait?" she asked. Harris nodded slowly. "Yes. I'm sorry. But it's the only way to make him come out. He thinks you're weak. He thinks you're scared. But this time, we will be waiting for him." Emily took a deep breath. This was dangerous, but she was tired of hiding. She wanted this to end. "Okay," she said. "I'll do it." Harris smiled kindly. "Brave girl," he said. "Don't worry, we'll protect you. You won't be alone, not for 1 second." That night, everything was ready. Emily sat in her apartment with the lights on. She pretended to be busy reading a book. But in reality, her heart was beating fast. She knew the police were hiding outside and in the building. Harris and 2 other officers were waiting in the stairwell. Another team was across the street, watching every move. The clock ticked slowly. Tick, tick, tick. Suddenly, Emily heard footsteps outside her door. Her body froze. Was this it? She held her breath. The door handle moved slowly. Someone was trying to open the door. Emily's phone buzzed. It was Detective Harris. Stay calm. He's here. We are ready. Don't move. Let him try to come in. The door creaked open just a little. A man's shadow appeared in the gap. It was Carl Jensen. He looked around carefully. He thought Emily was alone. He pulled out something from his coat. A long, sharp knife. Emily felt terror rise in her chest, but she sat still. The plan had to work. Carl stepped into the room, smiling coldly. "Hello, Emily," he said softly. "You thought you were safe? You were wrong." Suddenly, bang! The police stormed in. "Drop the knife! Hands up!" Harris shouted. Carl jumped in shock, but it was too late. 4 officers tackled him to the floor. The knife fell from his hand. He struggled, but the officers were too strong. "You're under arrest for threatening and stalking Emily White," Harris said firmly. Carl screamed in anger. "You can't do this." "Blackwell will save me, he promised," Carl shouted, but Harris laughed. "Blackwell is finished, and now you are too." Emily stood up slowly. Her legs were shaking, but she was safe. It was over. Carl Jensen was caught. The trap had worked. Harris turned to Emily. "Good job," he said. "You were very brave." Emily felt tears in her eyes. For the first time in weeks, she felt free. But suddenly Carl laughed loudly on the floor. "You think this is over?" he said with a cruel smile. "Blackwell has more friends. They will come. You can't stop him. He will walk free." Harris stared at him. "Not this time," Harris said. "We found everything. The stolen money, the secret accounts, the hidden files. His empire is falling apart. Blackwell is done." But Carl only smiled. "We'll see," he whispered. The police dragged him away. Harris looked at Emily. "Don't listen to him," he said. "Blackwell is finished. His friends are running away. They know the truth is out. The judge will send him to prison forever." Emily nodded, but her heart was still heavy. Could it really be over, or was Carl right? That night, Emily sat by her window, looking out at the city lights. She felt tired, but also hopeful. Her phone buzzed again. It was a message from the hospital manager. "Emily, the hospital board met tonight. They want to offer you a full-time job again. You are welcome back. Please come tomorrow to sign the papers." Emily smiled for the first time in many days. Her life was coming back. Slowly, carefully, like the morning sun after a long, dark night. The next day, Emily stood at the courthouse again. She came to see Mr. Emily woke up early the next morning. For the first time in many weeks, she felt light and free. The dark clouds of fear were finally gone. The sun outside her window shone brightly, as if it was smiling just for her. She stretched her arms and smiled softly. "No more fear," she whispered to herself, whispered. "No more hiding." Today was a big day. The hospital had called her. They wanted her to come and sign the new job papers. Emily was happy. After so much pain, shame, and fear, her life was finally coming back to normal. She put on her best, simple dress and left the house. As she walked to the hospital, people on the street smiled at her. "Good job, Emily," an old man said. "We are proud of you," a young woman waved. "Stay strong," another man called. Emily felt her heart fill with warmth. Before this, people used to whisper and avoid her. Now they cheered for her. They believed her. They respected her. At the hospital, the manager met her with a smile. "Welcome back, Emily," he said kindly. "The hospital board decided to offer you not only your old job, but also a promotion. We want you to lead the new patient care team." Emily gasped. "Me?" she asked. "But why me?" "Because you are brave. You stood for the truth when no one else did," the manager said. "You are exactly the kind of person we need to help patients. Honest, strong, kind." Emily felt her eyes fill with happy tears. "Thank you. Thank you so much," she whispered. She signed the papers. The hospital staff clapped for her. Even the nurses who once doubted her came and hugged her. "We are sorry for not believing you," one nurse said softly. "You are amazing, Emily." Emily smiled. "It's okay. The truth always wins in the end," she said gently. Later that day, Detective Harris came to visit the hospital. "Look at you," he said with a grin. "New job, new life. You did it, Emily." Emily laughed softly. "You helped me, Harris. Without you, I would still be afraid." Harris shook his head. "No, you were the brave one. You made the court listen. You made the city wake up. I just stood beside you." They walked slowly outside the hospital garden. Flowers bloomed. Birds sang. Everything felt peaceful again. But suddenly Harris's phone rang. He answered, and his smile faded. "What?" he said sharply. "No. Are you sure?" Emily watched him closely. Her heart skipped a beat. "What is it, Harris?" she asked nervously. Harris looked serious. "Mr. Blackwell's old lawyer was just arrested. He was caught trying to burn some important papers in his office, papers about more secret bank accounts, and some very dangerous names. Big people, rich people. Some of them are still free." Emily gasped. "You mean there are more like Blackwell?" she asked. "Yes," Harris said softly. "The case is bigger than we thought. The judge is calling a new court hearing. You may have to testify again, Emily. Your voice may help bring more of these bad men down." Emily felt a cold shiver. "Will I ever be free of this?" she whispered. Harris smiled kindly. "Yes, you will," he said. "But only after all the truth comes out. Are you strong enough for one more fight?" Emily stood tall. "Yes," she said. "For justice. For others. I'm ready." Harris nodded. "Good. Stay alert. They may try again to scare you, but this time they won't win." Emily returned to her apartment that night. Her mind was full of thoughts. She looked at the photo of her mother on the table. "Mom," she whispered, "you always told me to be brave. I did it. I told the truth. And I will keep fighting. For you. For all the people they hurt." Her phone buzzed again. This time it was a message from the city mayor, Emily White. "The city thanks you. We want to honor you with the Courage Award next week. Please accept." Emily smiled. A Courage Award, she thought. Me? She felt proud but also shy. She never wanted fame. She only wanted truth. But maybe this was good. Maybe the whole city would see that a simple woman, not rich, not powerful, could stand up and win. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Emily opened it carefully. It was her neighbor, Mrs. Green, an old, kind lady from the next apartment. "Emily, dear," Mrs. Green said softly, "I baked you a cake to celebrate. You are our hero." Emily laughed and hugged her. "Thank you, Mrs. Green. You are so kind." As they shared the cake, Emily felt peace in her heart. For the first time in a long time, she felt safe. But deep inside, she knew this was not the end. There were more battles to fight, more truth to tell. But now, she was not afraid. She was stronger, wiser, ready. That night, as she lay in bed, her phone buzzed once more. A new message. But this time, it was not a threat. It was from a young woman. "Emily, I saw your story. I worked for Mr. Blackwell once too. He hurt me. I want to speak. Can you help me?" Emily smiled softly. Yes. This was her new beginning. Helping others, telling the truth, fighting for justice. The real work was just starting, but she was no longer alone. Emily stood in the courtroom once again. This time she was not afraid. Her heart was strong. Her voice was ready. Beside her stood the young woman who had sent her the message. Her name was Lisa. She was quiet, shaking, holding Emily's hand tightly. "It's okay, Lisa," Emily whispered. "I'm here. You can do this. Lisa nodded. Slowly, the courtroom was full again. The city waited. Reporters filled the room. The judge sat high above, looking serious. Detective Harris stood near the door, watching carefully. This was the last trial. The final piece of truth. Mr. Blackwell was not the only one. Other powerful men were part of his secret plan. They stole money, cheated the city, and hurt innocent people. But now, they would all face justice. The judge spoke loudly. Bring the witness forward. Lisa walked slowly to the stand. Her voice trembled at first. But then she looked at Emily. Emily smiled at her kindly. Lisa took a deep breath. I worked for Mr. Blackwell's company, she said. At first, I thought it was a good job, but soon, I saw the truth. He made us change the papers. He made us hide money. He told us to lie. When I said no, he fired me. And he tried to scare me. He sent men to follow me, to watch my house. Gasps filled the courtroom. The judge frowned. The lawyers whispered to each other. Do you have proof of this? The judge asked. Lisa nodded. Yes, I have emails, records, and this, she held up a small flash drive. This has everything. All the secret deals, all the stolen money, all the names. The judge took the drive carefully. He gave it to the court clerk. For an hour, the court listened to the evidence. The truth came out like sunlight after a long, dark night. Blackwells, friends, rich men, company owners, even a small-time politician, were all part of the crimes. Their faces turned pale as the files were shown on the big screen. Lies were broken. Secrets were destroyed. The city saw it all. At last, the judge stood. This court finds all these men guilty for fraud, theft, threats, and abuse of power. I sentence them to long years in prison. Justice has spoken. The courtroom exploded in cheers. People clapped, reporters smiled, police officers shook hands. Detective Harris came to Emily and Lisa. You did it, he said proudly. Because of you both, the city is safe again. Lisa smiled, tears in her eyes. Thank you, Emily. I was so afraid. But you gave me courage, she whispered. Emily hugged her gently. You are brave, Lisa. You spoke the truth. And now, they can't hurt anyone ever again. That evening, Emily stood on a stage in the city square. Lights shone. Cameras flashed. The mayor smiled and held up a golden medal. This is the City Courage Award, the mayor said. And no one deserves it more than Emily White, the woman who fought for truth, for justice, for all of us. The crowd cheered loudly. Emily! Emily! Emily felt shy but happy. She stepped forward and took the medal. Thank you, she said softly. Her voice grew stronger. I am not special. I am not rich. I am not powerful. I am just honest. I wanted the truth. I wanted to be free. And now, we all are. The crowd clapped again. After the event, many people came to her. A young mother with a baby said, Because of you, I believe good people can win. An old man with tears said, You remind me of my daughter. She was brave like you. Even the hospital staff came to hug her. Emily, we are so proud, they said. Detective Harris stood beside her, smiling. You changed everything, Emily, he said. She smiled. No, Harris, we all did this. Together. Truth, courage, and kindness won. That's all that matters. Weeks passed. Emily's life became peaceful again. She worked at the hospital, helping people every day. Patients smiled when they saw her. Nurses respected her. Doctors asked for her advice. She was not afraid anymore. One day she got a letter. It was from the court. Dear Miss Emily White, the final trial is over. All guilty persons have been sentenced. You are free. There are no more threats. You are safe. Emily smiled and sighed with relief. Finally, truly free. She walked to the small park near her house. The sun was warm. Birds sang sweetly. She sat on the bench and closed her eyes. "Mom," she whispered softly, "I did it. I was brave, like you wanted. I stood for truth, and the world changed." A little girl ran past her laughing. Her father called gently, "Come here, sweetie." Emily smiled. The world was bright again. Safe. Strong. True. Her phone buzzed one last time. It was from Lisa. "Emily, thank you for helping me start a new life. I got a job, a real one, because of you. Bless you." Emily's heart warmed. This was her reward, not fame, not medals, but the smiles of people, the feeling of peace, and the knowledge that she made the world better. Emily stood up and walked home. Her story was over, but her life, her new life, was just beginning. The sun shone behind her, bright and strong, and for the first time in forever, she smiled without fear.